In a few seconds, you are about to hear one of the most beautiful near-death experience stories I've ever heard. Last month, I interviewed Chris Batts. Chris had a very difficult childhood. When he was 6 months old, his mother abandoned him in a dumpster. He grew up thinking that nobody loved him, but when he died and went to heaven, he realized that that couldn't have been more wrong. Here's what happened to Chris after he died.
Pitch black with different colors, and people call it a nothingness, a void, I don't know what you call it. You don't see anything. So all I know is I get the sharp feeling right here. Like it's like lightning striking you right here. And I just hear, let me reintroduce myself. I am God. Yes, I am real. Yes, angels are real. They're a gift from me. Want to meet them? So I said no because I didn't believe in them. So I was like, no. But at this time, I knew whatever was taught, whatever was hitting me, it was the most supreme. You knew it was what they call God. I just didn't know the real name. Could have been like Hector, it could have been Billy, but he would have been like, yes, I am Billy. Like, you know, that's what you know me as. I see certain words pop up in the air, kind of trying to like reintroduce himself as his personality. So one of the words said loving, just flies in the air. Another word flying in the air says caring. Then another, all caps with exclamation points, long suffering. So I remember this word long suffering as a kid, but I understood what it means now. I think it just meant how that God would suffer for a long time until he knows that he loves everybody. I felt like a kid or something, be like a kindergartner, because I kind of like felt him get down on one knee and give me a hug and squeeze me. But me, I'm like, wait, like, you're not supposed to do this to me. Like, I'm not perfect. Before this hug even happened, I'm like, I'm not supposed to be here. Like, I'm not perfect. But he kind of tells me, like, I want you now. Like how you are, like mistakes and all. Like, I want you now. You don't have to go get perfect and then come back. I've seen most people in their life reviews, they see life reviews, during their experiences. I did not. I seen just a projector screen pop up. And then one like video I seen was a picture of a video of a guy in a suit with a briefcase. And then I was like, I love him. There's the other guy with a joint in his mouth and a skateboard just cruising on by, and he's like, I love him. And then here's a prostitute girl, and she's walking by, and he goes, I love her. And it was like all the same love. There wasn't like, I love him more than her because she's a prostitute. It wasn't nothing like that. I just seen, and then I looked and I seen like this like snake wrapped in chains, and it was like, I didn't even know what that was, but it was like literally wrapped and couldn't move. I think it was maybe like a sign for the devil or something, because that thought I had in my head was like, but what about, and before I can be like, but what about the devil, you know, it was like I looked up and seen that snake, and he was like, don't worry about that. Okay. Yeah, so after this, I remember asking, I'm like, wait, like, what if people think I'm crazy? Like, what am I supposed to do when I go back to Earth? And he goes, tell everyone that I love them. Then there's also something else he said later. He said, I will go to the end of the world so that everyone is with me. Those are the two quotes that stuck with me the most out of this whole entire thing. So, poof, I'm midair now. I see clouds. There's no more nothingness. I see everything. I see the floor. I see the ground. I see everything. I'm like literally above a church. Ironically, above a church during this experience. I seen ambulances, the fire trucks. I seen a bunch of police and the friend I was with on the side. But before I even seen that, the first thing I really seen is I was freaking out. I seen like the clouds and this big old like donut hole like this in one of the clouds with like a light. If I would have stepped into that, I would have definitely went completely all the way to the other side, and who knows if I would have came back or not. Well, there was a bunch of angels around me like circling, but there was two in particular that I noticed. So one of them was on this side, one of them was on this side. The one on my left side, I'm like, I look and he goes, "Are you sure you want to go?" Like with the sternest voice. So then he seemed kind of mean. He was like, it was scary. He had like kind of like a beetle shaped kind of face. Wings were like more wide, and that's when I knew wings are real. I looked, he was more of a creature like thing though. But then I looked to my right. Here's this dude is more human than anything. They're both dudes, but you can tell this one's definitely like man. Huge, reminding like of the paper towel guy, the brawny guy, or like Dan Connor from Roseanne. Yeah, so he had on like brown slippers, blue jeans, red flannel shirt, sleeves rolled up to his elbows, and no facial hair, and like brown curly hair. So I'm just looking, I'm like, whoa, this dude is huge. They were both like 9 feet tall. This one's just in the softest voice. I'm thinking he's gonna kill me because I'm not used to other beings. I'm like, gosh, I'm going to hell. I didn't read the Bible. I read the Bible, but I didn't, like go to church every Sunday. I'm going to burn like they told me in church. And he goes, "You have so much to do for so many people." That's all he said. And I'm like, oh. So they're like, before that, I'm freaking out. I'm like, get me out. They're like, "No, it's okay. Like, we love you. You're gonna be okay." So they calmed me down. So they told me to look down at the floor. So I looked down, and they're like, "No, you need to look down again." This time, it's like a camera zooming in down to the ground. Here's like the fire trucks, more cops than anything though. The cops right here. Here's the friend I was with, way over here on the phone. And then here's my body laid out, and they're like trying to like, I guess, resuscitate me or whatever. And they're like, "Yeah, you need to realize this stuff really does happen." I seen my body laying there. I'm like, how is it that I'm here, but then I'm there at the same time? That doesn't make sense. So that's when I knew we literally have spirits. There's something outside of this life. So they asked me after that, they're like, "So do you want to stay or do you want to go?" So they actually left me the choice, like, do I want to go with them or stay here? Me thinking about, oh, you have so much to do for so many people. Me being suicidal as it was, I'm like, first thought, you think like, "Oh, I'm out of here, man. But that urge was like, "No, go back. You got to help people. You got a lot of people to help." Like, a lot of people don't know God loves them. So I don't know. I decided I should go back. That's all I remember. Days later, I woke up in the hospital. The doctors were there, and I'm like, wait, what happened? They kept calling me Miracle and all this. It wasn't until, because I was in the hospital for about a week, almost a week. I couldn't walk. I couldn't really talk or anything. All my senses were shot. Like, couldn't smell, nothing. So being wheelchaired out the hospital, I remember looking up at the sky. It was a sunny day. I seen the mountains. I seen the horizon. And then I knew something happened. And then I looked on the concrete. And then that's when it all, boom, that whole boom came back to me. And that's when I realized something happened. And I knew I didn't have to be scared anymore or something. It seemed like I knew of a God years ago that a lot of people don't know about. it seemed different than the God I that I've experienced. I can't say met because I didn't see his face. I didn't see, and I try to tell this during my NDE, I didn't see his face, anything like that. You just felt it. Angels, you seen everything. I probably would have died if I seen his face, like for sure. Yeah, it was that powerful. So I know there's a reason I didn't see him. Or it, because it could have been like it, him, her. It's just, it has like so much love in both. You just, macho, woman, it's both like in one. It's hard to explain.
You come back, you recover. What changed for you after? What changed in your life?
Everything. The way I think about life. I don't have like social anxiety anymore because well, sort of, but you can't really believe it because I'll be on stage talking to like massive people and I'm like, yeah, making them laugh. But deep inside, I'm shivering. Like I'm shaking. But I think I'm more accepting of it now. I'm more accepting of knowing that there's something out there. I don't have to be scared of death anymore. So now I feel like we're limitless. Animals, I used to see them as just like, oh, animals, they're here to just be animals, then they die, they don't exist after that. This like NDE is like, no, like animals are legit things. Like they have actual feelings, they have like, they actually laugh, they cry like we do, like they want to be loved like we do, they get mad, they're, you know, all kinds of stuff. And that's when I started seeing, I'm like, everybody said dogs don't have souls. And I'm like, after that, I'm like, I think they definitely do have souls. Like, I don't care what anybody says, I think they have souls. Plants, even plants, I know plants are alive. There's so much, I became like the biggest nature person. I was a nature person before that, but I had no idea what like a nature person was. Let's stop pollution. Like, let's not try to pollute the earth. Let's take care of the earth. So much different things. I understand people more. I look more at their inside, their souls, to determine, you know, how they're. It's like you look more in the inside, not the outside. Before this experience, I did so many jobs. Like I worked at the mall or this place, that place. Landscaping, all types of different stuff. But the NDE, it just made me want to change fields. And I ended up like, I'm like, I want to work with the kids because I love the kids. Ever since I was a kid, I've always felt the need to take care of kids. So I was a crossing guard for the school district, and I don't know, after that, I seen like the special ed buses and I was like, I want to be with them. Like, that's where I need to be. Because it seemed like we were just so in sync with each other. Like, I understood them and they understood me. So like, they can conversate, they can have like a conversation with me and I know what they're saying without actually saying it. Because I think they're a lot closer to God than a lot of the quote-unquote normal kids. So after that, I just applied, you know, for the special ed positions, and that's how it happened, and I've been with special ed since.
Since Chris's NDE, his story has gone viral online. One of the questions he gets asked most often, though, is, what happened to your mom? Do you still hate her? Since his story first went viral, things have changed in their relationship. Chris told me more in our interview.
A lot of people ask me, like, do I still hate my mom? Do I hate her? I'm like, no, I don't hate her. If I could, if I ever seen her, I would talk to her. I would want to talk to her, like adult to adult. Like, ended up happening where it didn't happen like that. I was honestly on the verge of trying to go look for her, and within months later, I get a message from someone and they told me I need to reach out to one of my aunts or someone else because my mom passed away. So they found her like on a sidewalk. she was homeless. I mean, that's how she lived. She was homeless. She's always been like that, from place to place. Never wanted to have her own place. Even when she had like a cell phone and stuff like that, like she used to call on payphones, so nobody knew where she was. She liked to rather be on the street. So she passed away, and I felt like that, like a lot of that changed a lot of stuff inside me after that. I felt a little, like, I guess, like discouraged because I didn't get to see her before and I didn't get to make that amends, to let her know I knew you had some mental issues going. I don't hate you. So it kind of like, even right now, I think like I really hope that she knows like I don't hate her. I was young, of course I did. I was young, I didn't know it, So I guess from word has it, from what I hear, the family didn't want anything to do with her. They told her she has a son. He can handle that. Because no one really, from what I know, no one in my family really reached out or cared much for her to even reach out to see how she's doing. So obviously she passed away there, and these are her sisters. They're not gonna, and her brother, they're not gonna want to deal with her. So hey, she has a son, let him handle it. So me feeling the way I feel, like I'm like, wait, why would this come on me? This is not my son. She left me. Literally 10 minutes later, I broke down, cried, and a lot, and decided to make sure that she didn't leave me completely. So I took responsibility for her transition. I got her cremated, and I have her. So like now she left me, but she's with me right now. I had a dream about her like maybe 2 days after she passed away, and there was this picture I had, and I was young, and it was a picture of me and her from when I was little, and I cut it in half and just kept my side and cut her out. In this dream, that same picture came, and it was angled, and I seen her, and it clubbed, and I met her, and I ended up helping her move. In this dream, I was helping her move into a new house. So I was literally like coming over, helping her move. Could have been like her heavenly house, I don't know, but like I was helping her move into her place, and we had the most fun. We had a ball. We had the best time. That was my best friend. Like in that dream, like slap vibes, like best friend, like, all right, girl, I'll see you later. Like that's how it was.
At the end of our interview, Chris gave messages of encouragement to all the people who feel like they're alone.